Whoa, boy. Oh, my goodness. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Winners Lounge. What the heck, man?
Well, I didn't know.
I'm in a state of shock from watching this guy play basketball. That's what I'm in right now.
Are we up? Oh, you're happy.
I'm in a state of shock coming from a good place.
You?
Yeah, some.
I thought that was the weirdest energy. Kale, am I wrong here?
I'm sorry, man. I just can't believe what I've watched over the last 3 games. Man.
All right, well,
I can't wrap my head around it.
Okay, speechless.
Yeah.
Speechless.
We don't have the energy to just be screaming and stuff like that. When we're tired like this, and Jokic just gets better.
I'm speechless,
bro. I'm tired. Like, this is the 3rd game in 4 nights. We just sit on a couch. We're tired. These dudes are running up and down the court. Like, we're tired of sitting here.
Dominating.
But I've got to say, as always, we are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up. Aaron Gordon lost me money tonight. I'm sure that he's not gonna sleep well tonight, knowing that he cost me $5.
I think everything else was
10,
like good too. Like everything else was good.
Yeah, my parlay might have got a little ambitious about the score. I just thought, I don't know. I thought 1 or 2 other guys might play, semi. Professional basketball, but first I'll introduce the squad. I got Harrison, speechless Harrison, who I thought was sad for some reason.
No, man, I'm the opposite of sad. I just can't believe this. I can't believe this is my life.
Yeah, I'll be smiling through it all.
Just smiling through it.
And the Lakers took a massive L, not to get ahead of ourselves for ATA. I got Superstar Dev.
We get to experience this historic run that Nikola Jokic is on, and I just am blessed to be a part of this run and just being able to see it all in and take it all in.
I mean, we are blessed. Like, how many times do we say this with Yoke? Like, I'm telling you, there's good athletes that come through a town, like great athletes that'll come through your town, through your team. But to have a guy that you just like this good that you can honestly dream of, anything you can dream seems real with him. Like, you honestly, I've always said I just don't think Nuggets will ever win a championship. I don't feel that way anymore. Part of me just goes, they got this guy that I'm like, how can I say he won't ever win one? He's as dominant as anybody in the league, more dominant than anybody at times, and he is currently on his biggest heater of his entire career. I'm not kidding. This was the best 3-game stretch he's ever had, and we're going to get into all of that. But first, you guys know what I like to do. To start the show off, just to refresh everybody's memory.
Cook, baby, cook.
I got to clear out for a little quick ISO here. The quick recap, and I actually need help with this one, guys. This game was actually pretty annoying at parts.
Yeah.
Yoke saved it.
Yeah.
Super aggressive Yoke to start. Why did he have so many points? Because he wanted to. Tonight, I don't know what happened. Maybe he was in the pregame and he looked around. He's like, these dudes are tired. They don't have – I don't know. I'm curious to find out. But he came out and cooked. 13 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists in his first 8 or 10 minutes, whatever it was. Just absolutely going at poor Alex Len, destroying him. I mean, just like it was almost like he was trying to embarrass him, just going at him so much. But the Nuggets couldn't pull away. For some reason, Jokic is playing perfect basketball, but Trey Lyles is destroying Davon Reed, which was a big shock. And so Sacramento's close. Zeke Naji checked in for the first time in several games.
He did.
And actually earned coach's trust. We'll talk about that here in a second. Second unit was terrible. They came in. Nuggets up 3 at the end of the first quarter, but you could feel it slipping away. And the second unit went 5 minutes. They scored 2 points in 5 minutes. They played some very good defense. They were grinding. They were flying around, but their offense was just. I mean, it was hard to watch.
Throwback to the second unit of earlier this season.
It really did feel like that. They got rolling a tiny little bit thanks to a pair of Forbes threes. Starters checked back in. Ball was popping. It was the best team stretch of the entire game there to close out the second quarter, where they went up 19, 20 points, something like that. But for the second time in 3 games, the Nuggets just lost their minds. Technical fouls, turnovers, and frustration plays to end the half turned what should have been a 15-point halftime lead down to, I think, a 10-point halftime lead, somewhere around there. And it was really dumb. Then you open up the second half with more technicals. So the
rare halftime tech.
The rare halftime tech. So this was a game that was out of reach, and then all of a sudden it turns into a grind. King started doubling Jokic really hard. Davon Reed got yanked from the game in the third quarter. Michael Malone was so furious with him for missing a defensive assignment. He actually was pretty bad. He was getting cooked by Lyles, and he was missing assignments. I still think Denver needed him on the court. And then the Nuggets offense just went ice cold. That third quarter was an unwatchable quarter from an offensive perspective. Some very questionable shot selection from a lot of different guys, and the Kings rallied all the way back into the game. And the bench, they struggled again. Lead got down to 7. Jokic checked back in. Then it got down to 1 with 7 minutes and 47 seconds. I thought Jokic was not going to play too many minutes tonight. Michael Malone's like, we're going to lose this game if I don't get that dude back out there. 7 minutes, 47 seconds, he comes in. He plays well. The fourth quarter was probably his worst of the 3 quarters individually, but he still made all of the plays in the clutch. When it got down to the final few minutes, he made all of them, other than the ones that Monte Morris made to help save the game, including a clutch floater. Monte Jokic two-man game really closed this one out. Did I miss anything?
Austin Rivers had a big shot.
He did hit one big shot. He
didn't hit many shots tonight, but he did hit a big one right after he bricked a couple in a row.
And the Nuggets needed, like, I'm not going to go over the top saying, oh, it was great or this or that, but they needed just guys to hit 1 or 2 shots. Like, Monte was playing well, Jokic was playing well, and you're like, does anybody else have anything? And there was, like, just enough. I mean, votes on grades tonight. I think there's going to be 1 A+. I think there's going to be 1 B+ or A-, and there's going to be a whole lot of D- and Fs. Like, there was just a lot of guys that didn't play well. Dev, what's your big takeaway?
My biggest takeaway is a question. Is this the Nikola Jokic that we're going to see for the rest of the year? Because he really has been just so different as far as the way that he's attacking and his aggression. He's not settling for three-pointers. It feels like he hasn't hit a three-pointer in a long time, and he's not even taking them. He's getting right to where he wants to be. He's getting the ball a lot more. I feel like there was a time where other guys were trying to, get involved, where he's just like, no, give me the ball. I'm going to make things happen. We're going to run through me again. And we hadn't seen that in quite some time. So if this is the new King Yoke that we've been seeing, like, it's over for teams. Like, really, I don't know. I don't know what you could do when he can do those type of things. And also, it just feels like the team's not, like, just suffering the entire time that he's out, because you just remember – it feels like he's out there at all times right now. Like, right. So I think that's really what the difference has been, is he just wants to destroy right now, and he's getting it done.
But Harrison, the Yoke has this level in him. He has this gear in him. But I don't think this is the best 3-game stretch of his career. I can't say it's going to be this is the new Yoke. I mean, he's on a heater, no?
He's on an absolute heater. And look, you have to factor in the competition that he's playing. Like, the Kings' big men suck. Yeah. He just played against the Warriors team that, other than Kevon Looney, they didn't really have any centers. Still, man, he is in control of the game at a level that I don't think I've ever seen a basketball player control a game at. Like, LeBron, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. I've never seen another guy control a game like Nikola Jokic has controlled these last 3 games. Yeah. It's incredible. He's having a ridiculous week. I mean, it's only Wednesday. I've just the biggest thing that's leveled up this year from last year is how he just controls the pace, the flow, the style that the Nuggets play. And these last 3 games, man, I've never seen anybody control a game more than he is right now.
I mean, I have a theory that, Jokic an Iron Man. And this is part of his calling card, is he's mentally and physically very just tough. And I have a feeling he looked at the schedule and said 4 games in 5 nights, this point of the season where every win, every loss matters so much. And I think he's kind of like, you know what? This is a statement, not just as like an MVP statement. I think it might just be a statement to his teammates, to everybody of like, guys, this is who I am. Like, I know Aaron Gordon's tired. Right. I know a lot of these guys are tired, and he's like, you know what? I'm tired too. The difference is when I'm tired, I go out and I put up 38, 15, and 10 for 3-game stretches, and that's what makes him special. Yeah. And to me, I honestly feel like that's why – I'm trying to figure out why he was so aggressive tonight, because we don't see that version of Yoke all the time, especially in first quarters. And tonight it was like he wanted to make a point. And I honestly think that point was, teammates, look at me. Mm-hmm. Remember this. I've got you. Like, I need help. I need support. But just know this is who I am. I can do this when our backs against the wall.
One of the biggest things for him this year, and also just like one of the only things that's like, bringing him down a little bit or pushing him back, is like that leadership quality. I feel like he's now like stepped up in those qualities, and also he's leading by example. Last year he played the entire year without taking any nights off, because he wants to show them, like, I'm willing to just sacrifice my everything for you guys. This year it's like he's leading by example in the same type of ways, but it's like, hey, we're tired, but we're not going to make any excuses. He's not one of those like superstars that are going out there and they're talking about how much they're playing, right, or how many minutes that they have to go through. He does not talk. He just plays. and he plays at a high level every single time. And then if he does have a regular game, we don't know what that looks like anymore. He's just like, hey, I missed some shots.
Yeah.
There's just no excuses the entire time. And when you look at the other guys on the team, those are also guys that have like had to work, tooth and nail for everything that they have. So having a leader like Jokic, who's also, had to start from the bottom and make his way up, now everybody's involved. Now everybody's playing through, everything that they have, and they're giving everything they have. So Jokic is a different type of leader, and I think that's what's standing out.
Yeah. Coming into these 4 games in 5 nights, I remember I was talking with Vogt on the podcast. We were saying, all right, what game are they going to rest Jokic for?
Right.
We always do this when the Nuggets come into one of these stretches. 3 games in 4 nights, 4 games in 5 nights. When are they going to rest him? He never rests, and he goes and plays 43 minutes and wills the Nuggets to a win over the Pelicans. Comes back the next night, 35 minutes, dominates the Warriors, and then tonight. And he's probably going to do it again tomorrow night. I've just never seen it before. I've never seen it before.
If he were to rest, I mean, look, I'm worried. Like, he's putting a lot of minutes up. This is just, it's always tough. Like, I'm a little bit worried about that. Somebody put out there, like, he wasn't going to play tonight on the road and then rest at home. I'm reminded of the Timberwolves Utah game where Denver played him when they probably should have rested him and then didn't. And I wonder if they looked at this one and were like, Sabonis out, Rashawn Holmes out, Kings are terrible. Play him, and then maybe they would rest him against a Warriors team that is going to be obviously a lot more difficult, especially the 4th game 5 night. But I'm with you, Harrison. While that scenario makes sense, and maybe even in like my secret heart, I would root for it. I think that I just don't think he's going to rest. I think he's going to play. And
they've won 10 of 11. They've won 12 of 14. You have the chance to keep this going tomorrow before you have a tough little road trip coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, the Nuggets medical staff knows better than us. They have their readings on these guys. They know if they're close to their limit. They can make the call. But, I mean, I have 100% confidence he's going to come out and do the same exact thing tomorrow.
That's the thing is, like, poor Kevon Looney's going to be sitting there, and he's like, bro, I just played this 2-3 days ago. He kicked my ass. Like, you saw what he did to me, and now I got to go out and do that. And, look, maybe Yoke does struggle tomorrow. I mean, he's an Iron Man, but everybody has their limits, no?
Everybody has their limits. And also, Harrison just talked about it. They're about to go on a tough stretch. They've put together the 10 and 11. So rest them one game. Yeah. Like me as a coach, I would rest them just to give them a night off. Just to say, hey, we appreciate what you've been doing. You shouldn't be playing this much, but when you come back, you're going to be refreshed, and that's when you're going to turn up and go to the next level, because that's what we've been seeing after the All-Star break. He's been dominant. He's been, one of the best players in the league, and there's been ups and downs, but there's really just been highs the entire time. It's just not the same Yoke. So give him a night off. I think he'll be ready to go.
Can we talk about the spin move?
Yeah.
Can we talk about, because this move, you guys, like, I don't think we can play the highlight. It starts with a head fake. Like, it starts with a dribble drive. Actually, I'm sorry. Let me start over. It starts with a behind the back. Like, he first makes a move, crosses over behind his back, head fake, crossover again, then goes into a double spin move that just leaves poor Jones just like, honestly, almost falls over. He's just like, I mean, he gets beat on every one of these moves a little bit, and by the end of it, you could just tell this dude's like, what am I supposed to do? I mean, it's funny. This is the second time now this has kind of happened.
The double behind the back against...
No, I'm just saying going up against Damian Jones, because poor Damian Jones seems like a good dude. Seems like a good... And he had some moments tonight where you're like, you know what? He's doing his job.
In the fourth quarter, he stood up to him. He was solid.
He kept fighting. But this is a dude that's going up against a guy who's clowning. 38, 18, and 7. Like, what's it like to guard a guy that's got 38, 18, and 7? I honestly wonder what you're like when it's... You can't look around and you're like, guys, I'm doing the best I can. I'm holding him to Wilt Chamberlain numbers.
And this is like in a league where, you're supposed to be at the best of you're at your peak as well. And this guy is just so much better than you. And then also, they don't double team in this league, like how they used to. Like, so you actually are just on an island and you're just getting cooked the entire time, and you just have to just live with it. Yeah. I don't know what it would be like to be that type of defender where you're just getting attacked and destroyed the entire time, and I never want to be put in that situation.
I imagine it's lonely, because that was a lot of minutes. That was a lot of minutes to be out there on the court and just be like, I mean, there were times it was like 7 possessions in a row that he gets scored on, and you're just like,
it was him and Alex Len in that first half, and what I was thinking in the first half tonight was like Nikola Jokic just broke basketball. That's what it looked like for the first 2 quarters of this game. I mean, everything that Sacramento threw at him, he just countered. And it's been the story of the whole season. You can't stop him. There's no game plan out there that can stop him. He's always going to make the right play. He's going to score, or he's going to find the open guy. And it's just a matter if that guy makes or misses the 3. But he broke basketball in the first half. If they doubled him, he was finding Aaron Gordon. If they didn't, he was making layups and going to the line. Yeah. It was. I'm still just speechless, man. It was incredible.
This guy's unbelievable. I mean, what was your favorite of the 3 games?
Probably the New Orleans game, man.
Be the New Orleans.
That was a top 5 game. To see that live, man, it was privilege.
What a brag. This MFer over here. We're over here grinding away, working our ass off while he's just sitting there.
It's one of those that I'll definitely never forget.
To see that, as the only person here who saw it live, I can tell you it was even better watching it live.
It was.
Here's the thing about the first game. Kind of a B- first 3 quarters.
Right.
But the ultimate A+.
But it doesn't matter.
It was the ultimate
because it's one of the greatest fourth quarters in history.
It really was. It might have been the greatest. Like statistically, you saw some of those 30-point quarters, highest field goal percentage.
What's also been crazy about these 3 games, the efficiency.
Yeah.
73% from the field.
Yeah, he was off
against
tonight.
New Orleans. 71% against Golden State. 63% tonight. An off night.
Struggling, man.
Yeah.
63.
And he missed a lot of bunnies. Maybe what Chris Marlowe said was the easiest shot of his career that he might have missed tonight.
Yeah. Facu, I think, was mad at that, by the way. There was a little Facu pass.
Well, Facu didn't play well after that, though.
Yoke went over to him to kind of say, my bad, and it looked like Facu walked away from almost like, I'm sitting here on the bench. I give you a perfect assist. You don't give me anything. So what was your favorite of the 3?
That first game.
All right.
Just to see him like just reach a new level, because they just needed every single ounce of him, and he gave it to him.
Yeah.
To be having such a mediocre game and then just flip a switch where it looks like they're down and out. There's no chance. It looks like he's getting outplayed in the game, and it's just like, hey, wait a second, let me show you guys something. So that first game, like that was, and then for it to go into overtime and he even goes even higher, like there's no topping that. I really don't know what he can do to top that unless he just dominates from start to finish.
It was our favorite game of the regular season. One of them for Yoke. If we talk about just Yoke specific performances, it's right up there. I honestly wonder if, I don't know how you would get an honest answer from Jokic about this one. But I honestly feel like his confidence level in his scoring is actually going up and up and up. And when you have a 3-game heater like this on the heels of an MVP, on the heels of all the other stuff he does, I just wonder how this is going to serve the team. I made the point, I talked to Seth Parnell today, I made the point that Murray and Porter getting hurt, the silver lining of it was Jokic has discovered that teams can't guard him no matter who he's playing with. And you could send a double team, it doesn't matter. You better set him a good double team and maybe even a triple team. And when you do get and not even just this year, but even next year, you do get a Murray and a Porter back. I'm just curious, what does this team look like if Yoke plays like that in the first quarter, and then in the second, third, and fourth, you have Murray and Porter to space the court? Or
it's scary. It's honestly terrifying because we've almost never seen it.
Right. Right. Where a team is so worried about Yoke that they're so compromised, and then, oh, by the way, we got these other 2 guys that can create and finish at an elite level. So I'm hyped. Jokic is incredible. We spent a whole segment on him just because we had to. I mean, what else were we going to do? Oh, is he the draft? That's Boogie Cousins. Wait a second. Hold up. Did you get the wrong one, Kale? The DraftKings Sportsbook king of the game is Nikola Jokic. 38 points, 18 rebounds, 7 assists. He is the king of the game. That crown too small for a king our size.
From what you said about the confidence he has in his scoring right now, like that first quarter tonight, just the purpose and the persistence and the focus he came out with.
Yes.
Like every single time, I'm going to score on you, Alex Len. Every single time, I'm going to score on you, Damian Jones. There was nothing anybody could do about it.
I really wonder what they both were like, especially Len early on. You come out the gate and he's just like attacking every time. I wonder, he's like, hey, I've watched your games. You're not always like, what do you do? Why me?
Yeah, it's like Balkan Brotherhood. Like, come on, man,
set the table, throw some assists, get everybody going. That's what you like to do. Why are you scoring in the first like this? It was incredible. All right, let's hit a break. On the other side, there was one other guy that played well and a bunch of other guys that did not. We'll talk about all of it on the other side.
Oh, man. Is this Tuesday? This is Tuesday show.
This is Wednesday's show.
Oh, Wednesday.
We had Sunday, Monday games. Yep.
Right. Sexy Pizza, guys. It's my go-to for pizza in Denver. Of course, they got a bunch of locations around the Denver area. They are located in Cap Hill, South Pearl, Jefferson Park, and Park Hill. A new location in Trinidad, Colorado that just opened as well. They've got awesome pizzas. They've got good salads. They've got good sides. The garlic knots are fire. They're also a Denver company, so they're Colorado through and through, just like us. They've been in the Denver community for 13 years. They're as local as it gets. They've got these really cool pies that are their philanthropies. A portion of every sale from these 5 specialty pies is donated to a range of different nonprofits right here in Colorado. So go to www.sexy.pizza. You can order there. You can get delivery. You can pick up at any of those locations as well. Also, Athletic Greens. Dev, you having your Athletic Greens every morning?
No.
I just got a new shipment.
You're
excited.
Eating your Athletic Greens.
Look at me, man. Look at me.
I can tell. You're glowing.
Athletic Greens.
If you want to glow like that, make sure to have your Athletic Greens.
Just see me on the court yesterday, Dev. I'm telling you.
Yeah. It's a product that we use literally every day. I started taking Athletic Greens because I wanted better gut health and more energy and an optimized immune system. That's what Athletic Greens is giving me. So what is it? It's 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens as well. It's just a little green mix. You put 1 scoop in a water bottle in the morning. First thing you do, boom. It's lifestyle friendly, whether you are keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. It's great for any type of diet. It's super healthy, makes you feel good. So Athletic Greens, all you got to do, visit athleticgreens.com/nuggets, athleticgreens.com/nuggets to get set up. They're going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs as well with your first purchase. I also got to do a DraftKings pick of the week.
Oh, the pick of the week. Do you have it ready to go, or are you just on the fly?
I don't. I'm going to look if there's a line for tomorrow.
There's no way there's a line for tomorrow.
You don't think so?
There's no way that there's a line for tomorrow. Come on. How are they going to predict the game?
Nuggets plus 2.5.
So there were underdogs for tomorrow. Nuggets under 2-point underdogs.
They should be, though.
They should be. They should be. But that, you know what that line tells me? They think Yoke's playing. Because if they have no Yoke on a second night of a back-to-back with travel against the Warriors who are rested, like, come on.
Give me the Nuggets plus 2.5.
What? That's your pick of the week?
DraftKings pick of the week.
All right. Well, to be honest, so we were going to talk about Monte, but I'm just because we're here at the DraftKings picks of the week. The Nuggets get that win. That's a statement win. I mean, this is a schedule loss if there ever was one. That's a schedule loss. Nuggets might even approach it as a schedule loss. But if you get that one, 4 games, and Yoke plays again like this way, I don't know if it has these residual effects, but it would be such an impressive, like.
If we're speechless after this game.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine if he does this again tomorrow.
On TNT with everybody watching him.
Oh, that's right. It is on TNT. Oh my goodness.
With everybody watching him.
How's that? TNT would schedule the Nuggets on the second night of back-to-back coming from Sacramento back to freaking Denver.
So
Yoke's
ridiculous.
going to go insane.
I hope
He's
so.
going to go crazy.
Oh my God.
With everybody watching, like, really, tomorrow is the game for him. Because everybody's already going to be paying attention. The numbers have been insane every single time. There's, talking heads now talking about he should be the MVP or, he's leading those numbers and things like that. And this is going to be a lot of people's, first time in a long time probably tuning in for the Nuggets game. So this is the opportunity for him to, like, prove it. And also it's going to be against Looney, who he has been really doing bad. Really doing bad. So, like, he walks in with that at least.
I mean, we are, in my opinion, I know this is going to sound incendiary. I think the MVP will be won this week. And what I mean by that is Jokic has taken, in my opinion, and even talking to people, I honestly believe this. Jokic has taken the lead, and I think he should have. Like, I've been slow playing this. I think the conversation, like, I always tell people this stuff usually resolves itself. Remember how much we got up in arms over it last year, and then by the end, 90 out of 100 votes were for Jokic. I feel like this year might be the same. The only difference is Jokic just had this week that he's at, and I think everybody's taken notice.
I think Embiid was a little ahead until this week.
Maybe. I mean, if you look at DraftKings, then that certainly bears out. But that doesn't matter. Like, that stuff is all about where do the bets come in. And like, so I love that one of my favorite tweets I saw on the timeline tonight was like somebody at Bag Twitter when like Jokic had that sexy 8-part combo move. But I think that's the more the betting. But just look, I talk to a lot of people that have votes. Like,
yeah,
and a lot of people are like, that's Jokic, their secret. They're kind of like, it's close, but I kind of lean Jokic right now. And then he had this week, and you're like, dude, they're definitely leaning him. But here's the difference. You could do this. You can keep that streak going. If you win 4 out of 5 nights putting up these type of numbers, like, people have to be like, would Giannis do that? Would Embiid do that? Would DeRozan? Would any of these other guys, would they be able to do that? No. Jokic, this is what he does. But then on top of that, they do play the 76ers on Monday. And part of me wonders if Jokic is sharpening his claws. He knows what's going to have to happen in that game, and it's like, hey, full focus, full energy, full scoring in that one. And that's why I say I think the MVP award will be won this week. I think it'll be Jokic, but we'll have to see how it plays out.
I mean, that is the most anticipated regular season game for Denver that I can remember in quite some time.
Monday night. It's so funny that it's a Monday night.
A Monday night in Philly.
Go figure.
It's going to be crazy.
The best part about it is, and I'm sure that he's going to sit, but the Sixers are on the second night of a back-to-back.
Right.
In that. So he's going to sit in that first game. He gets to come back for Jokic, who's going to be.
You think?
While Jokic is just scrapping and clawing to get this Nuggets team to a win 40 minutes a night every single night.
What if Jokic psychologically setting it in Embiid's mind to play both games? So Embiid's like, well, he just played 4 and 5.
Exactly.
So I got to play Sunday. Yeah. Then I got to come around and play Monday. This
guy just played 4 and 5.
He just played 4 and 5. Crap, I hate playing 2
God,
and
James,
2 and 4.
come on.
We'll see what happens. It should be really good. There was one other player that was fantastic tonight, and it's one of my favorite players to talk about and give accolades to. Monte Morris, a.k.a. Mr. Nugget, a.k.a. Big Game Tay, came up big once again. And, I mean, the guy just keeps doing it. It's fun. I love the Nuggets social account. Actually, pull it up if you can, Kale. At the Nuggets Twitter account, they put out a tweet, and I'm so glad they did. And it just says closers, and it's got a picture of Monte and Jokic. Can I tell you something? Murray and Jokic, that's the real closers. Those guys, the two-man game, the way they've closed out playoff game 7s and all this is on a whole other level. Monte, absolutely a closer. Yeah. Absolutely a closer. And the chemistry him and Jokic have developed is one of these things I look at and I'm like, the Jokic Monte closing duo is the second best closing duo on the Nuggets, and it might be like the 5th best closing duo in the NBA. Like, that's how good it has become. I honestly picture Monte, like when we talk about closing the game, Monte Jokic, it's a duo to me now.
I think it's a duo also. And also, like, for Monte to just step into, to try to fill a void that's left by Jamal Murray and just to have this exceptional, like, performance after performance, it's wild that he's not getting as much conversation that he is because, no guy that started on a 2-way contract is supposed to be a starter in this league that's competing every single night. He's been consistent. He's been his same self as far as like making sure that he takes care of the ball. This one he had 3 turnovers, and 2 of them came super late where the game is just out of hand, where he doesn't even have to do it. Or this would have been just like a real Monte game, but he's scoring every single time. They're starting to roll do the pick and roll, so like he understands where to be in the offense and just how to set up everything. And then also like I just feel confident every time he shoots the ball. Like there was a time that the floater was like going away, the 3-point shooting wasn't there. He has everything right now offensively. Where it's just coming to him, and for him to put 20 points up in this game, with him and Jokic really being the only bright spots for the Nuggets, and then they go out and win the game. He's been doing it all for the Nuggets.
Yeah, he's hit a lot of big shots this year. Of course, the game winner against the Warriors, and then this one tonight.
Who could have seen that coming? I never get any credit from you guys. I can't believe it. You guys should say I get no respect around here. I get no respect from these guys. My boldest prediction.
Oh yeah, your bold. Did tonight count as a game winner?
No.
So he's still at 1.
Yeah, he's still at 2. Oh
yeah,
two.
He's at 2. But he hasn't had those opportunities before because when Jamal Murray's been healthy, he hasn't been on the floor at the end of games. Just hasn't. You know, Jamal Murray's your point guard. You have size around him. Monte's not usually on the floor, but he is, and he's absolutely just stepped up to the plate, shot it with confidence every single time. And you just watch Monte Morris play, and you look at a guy who just knows that he belongs out there to close games now. You know, that he doesn't second guess himself. He's so confident in whatever he's doing. He's got a way quicker trigger on his 3 this year. I feel like he's a better 3-point shooter this season, but he's right at his career average. I feel like he's
but the shots are
missing.
tougher, you know? I mean, like you're more higher up on the scouting report now.
Yeah. He's just stepped up big time. He showed me a lot this year.
He's been so good. You almost start to wonder. I mean, again, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, and Barton's obviously been great as with that closing lineup. He was on the, he's been on the court for some of these big ones, but you honestly wonder what would happen if you had Murray and Monte on the court together. Now you have two-man game players with Denver. Like, what does that look like? That honestly might be a thing that Tim Conley and them are looking at and saying, hey, the reps they got, now you have the first best in Murray and Jokic, and you also have like the 5th best closing duo in Monte and Jokic. That might be a thing that you count on down the line.
And I think they will go to it now. With this year of just running everything through Jokic and everybody else just making the right play and just read and react offense, that you can take those type of chances, especially with an Aaron Gordon that can defend multiple positions. Monte's been showing that he's like a really good defender. So I am sure that they're going to go through it at a lot of times, especially against these type of teams, like, where you can see how it looks and you can take those chances. But just having that many weapons on the court at the same time and then throw in like, hey, MPJ or something like that, that's a lethal offense right there.
I love that Monte is the 51st pick. I love it. You got a 41st pick and a 51st pick.
51st pick. There's only 9 picks after that.
Yeah, it's only 9 picks after that. You got a 41st pick and a 54th pick, and it's like one of the best closing duos, in the league. It's such a cool story. I love Monte. I'm so glad he's on the Nuggets. He's been. We always talk about the guys, like Jokic and Murray and this and that, but like Monte's another one of these guys that have just been so fun to do every step. Think about it, his first year was Grand Rapids. No, it wasn't Grand Rapids. It was the Vipers.
Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just crazy to think we went from there and each step of the way, and now here we are closing games.
It would just feel so weird to see him in another jersey.
It would hurt. That one would hurt.
Out of everybody on the Nuggets, it's probably like Jokic, Jamal Murray, and then maybe Monte. Like guys that you just could never envision in another jersey.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't envision it because I kind of feel like it will happen at some point. He's too good. And
it'll be a sad day.
But it would be a sad day. Hopefully it's, well after a championship run or championships run. That ends the positive portion of today. So why don't we finish with one last thing here and we say the party bus, guys. Don't forget March 26th. The DNVR takeover. You've only got like 3 more days to buy tickets, guys. This is going to be a fantastic one. Send it to friends. Send it to people you know. It is $100. You get a ticket to the Nuggets game for the 26th where the Nuggets take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. You also get a ride to and from the DNVR bar on the party bus. So you come here, you park, you have dinner, you have some drinks, you ride the bus over, you watch the game together. By the way, these seats are all together, so you'll meet who are you sitting next to. You get to talk to them. They're DNVR people. You're DNVR people. You guys make signs. You come up with chants together. Then after the Nuggets win, you hop back in the bus. You come over here, and we all have drinks together. We take some shots of some rakia together.
That's the one.
That's the one. I had a little brain fart here. We have some rakia, and we all celebrate. And who knows? Maybe it'll be like it was last weekend, where people start singing and dancing on the tables.
You never know what's going to happen at the DNVR bar.
You never know what's going to happen. All right, guys, let's get into some of the negative. The guy I actually would single out here. Actually, I'm going to start with Davon Reed. This was a pump the brakes game for Davon Reed. Mm-hmm. This was a pump the brakes. Like, why hasn't he been in the rotation? What is wrong? Like, we're trying to figure out, is this guy, he seems like he's the perfect shooter. He cuts, he does his role. He was screwing up easy defensive assignments tonight, and I was kind of surprised by that. Michael Malone yanked him. He did not. He came back into the game for like 20 seconds, but that was it. At the very, very end. He got benched. He got his opportunity tonight, and he got benched. What do you make of that?
I think it just goes to show you how difficult it is to play as a starter, especially alongside Jokic. Yes. You have to make the right decisions. You have to know where you're supposed to be on both sides of the floor every single time. So, this is the difference between why a guy's not playing. I think, from the outside looking in, you could just scream all type of things. You're throwing rocks at the sun, just saying, things from the outside. But when you're in that situation, like, I know it came to him fast. Davon Reed is like, hey, there's a lot that I'm having to pick up. It's coming at me, like, way too quick. And that's why, you have to, like, work your way up. You go from not playing any minutes to the second unit. Now he has to step into the starting unit, and it's just a lot for anybody. So I don't, fault Davon Reed, but also, like you said, pump the brakes where it's like, hey, there's a reason that you're not playing as many minutes. There's a reason that you have to keep working, and you're pretty much a rookie at this point. So those are growing pains, and every rookie has them. So that's how I look at this game.
Yeah, that's surprising mistakes from him, because you always hear about how much Michael Malone trusts Davon Reed and how he's, just a solid guy, low mistake guy. And look, when you're a role player fighting for minutes and trying to make an impression, I mean, the pregame show, we were talking about how this is Davon Reed's audition for next season, for his first actual, like, real big-time NBA contract. And tonight, it wasn't a good audition. Like, if you're a role player and you get an opportunity like this, you can't have those really loud defensive mistakes like he had. And, like, he had a couple tonight where the Kings got an open dunk at the rim, and there was nobody in the paint. And it was just obviously Davon Reed's fault.
He's looking at him. He's like, you rotate over.
You can't have those if you're a guy who's on the fringe of a rotation fighting for minutes.
Two things on him here. One, I know this from experience. It's hard, obviously at lower levels, it's hard to come off the shelf and be locked in defensively, because so much of it is, it's like cerebral, like, do you know what your assignments are? Are you locked in there? But a lot of it's just reps. It's just a lot of muscle memory of, like, hey, I kind of know the actions happening over here, anticipating what's happening. And when you're on the shelf, that anticipation becomes a lot more like cognitive as opposed to just like intrinsic. And I think some of that, just to kind of cut him a little bit of slack there. But two, tonight he had a really tough defensive assignment. He is a combo 2-3, maybe a little bit. He's like a 2.7. A little bit more of a 3 maybe than a 2. I don't know.
I'd say maybe more of a 2. Like a 2.4.
Maybe he is. I mean, he's tough. He's
6'5". He's really skinny. He just has the long wingspan.
And the skinniness is the thing that stood out, because tonight you had Harrison Barnes, who clearly Michael Malone was worried about. That's why he stuck Aaron Gordon on him and said, Trey Lyles, we're not worried about you. Michael Malone, probably not worried. Trey Lyles, too big for him, man. A mouse in the house. He had the little thing going tonight. And so cut him maybe a little bit of slack there in that he was playing a little bit out of position, this or that. But again, Trey Lyles,
I mean,
if you get cooked by Trey Lyles, you're ending up on Michael Malone's bench.
If you get cooked by Trey Lyles, it's a bad thing. But if you get cooked by Trey Lyles while you're on the Nuggets playing against him, that's even worse.
It'd be like if Bones got cooked by Moutier, and we're like, hey, he's too small, but it's like, hey, man, yeah, but it's Moutier. You gotta do something.
What sucked is, like, Trey Lyles had the only positive part of the game was against him. Right. Because he was horrible every single, like, other piece of it. And that actually is worse for Davon, because, when he watched film, it's going to be like, hey, this is what you're supposed to do against this guy. This is what we already know what this guy is. He's never supposed to do what he did to you, and he's not doing that on anyone else. So Davon just has a lot that he has to just keep on going with. And like you said, I think it's a lot of just internal things that are just not clicking. But with more time, with more opportunity, he is going to, like, step up.
Yeah. Adjacent to that point, Michael Malone got a tech again today. And this is the second time in 3 games he's gotten a tech. And these are not the techs that we talked about. These are like he's lost his cool. And these techs, by the way, they're meaningful. This was a 6-point win. This, honestly, even with how bad Denver played, the players played, this still should have been a 12-point win. But you give up all those points on techs and all that momentum and this or that, and it kills you. And here's the thing. I think Michael Malone is sort of fraying here. And I don't know what – I think maybe he's also fatigued. He talked about the All-Star break. We're all sick of each other. I think there's some mental fatigue with him. Maybe there's also a little – DeMarcus Cousins, since his arrival, Malone's fuse has been short. I almost feel like Boogie's text.
They're morphing into one person.
Yeah, like I'm saying, there's this thing where he's almost like he's
taking on DeMarcus Cousins' demeanor
rather than DeMarcus Cousins taking on the team's demeanor. And you're sitting here and you're like, well, Boogie keeps getting texts every game and losing or at least like storming off and stomping his feet. And Malone's getting texts now. I don't know. I honestly think it's a small thing because it's a little sample size. I think Malone's out of pocket. I think he's got to rein himself in.
I agree. And I can't think of another reason it would be other than the Cousins thing or just because we're at that time in the season. Nuggets have won 10 of 11.
They've won 10 of 11.
They've won 12 of 14.
He's getting texts.
I know.
He can't calm himself
He's
down.
as pissed as he's been all season, and they've won 10 of 11. They're the hottest team in the NBA.
They
have a top 10 offense and defense for the first time all season.
Unbelievable.
And he's livid.
He can't control himself. Deb, are you with us?
No.
Really?
No. Because I want to know if it's purpose, like if he's doing it on purpose.
The New Orleans, what he admitted was it. He's like, I lost my cool.
See, that's no good. But because, like, really, though, even if you do want to put it on the Cousins thing, like, Cousins brings, like, that tough man mentality where I know that Malone wants to bring to his guys, where he wants them to be fired up and amped up. And to just play with a type of edge. And he's been saying that for years, and they've never had that. So now that they have a guy that's not afraid to go get attacked, that's not afraid to, defend himself.
He's definitely not afraid.
I feel like
definitely not afraid.
Maybe that's where he's saying, like, because he doesn't scream at him when he does it. He'll bring it up or something, but it's just like, we're going to back our guys. And, like, he's now having that. Like, we just talked about, Aaron Gordon just said, I'm going to pay the fine for him. So, like, now guys are, like, okay with it. So I'm like, maybe he wants guys to just, like, fight for things that they want, that he's starting to do it to just prove, I'm okay if you guys, want to play with some type of, characteristic. If you want to have that type of anger, play with it. Because I feel like you can, like, win over with emotion, even though it's at little times. He's just too okay with it for him to just not want it to be purposeful.
Interesting. I mean, we'll kind of have to see how this plays out. I just feel like Malone has lost his cool just a little bit too much. But, maybe that fire, it does. Another angle to take of this, though, is, look, they have been winning. It's not because of him. And that New Orleans game, they won in spite of all those texts, not because of those
texts. Almost lost them the game, though. I mean, it could have been a turning point in the other direction.
You could honestly say maybe it won him the game because Adelman put Jokic in with 10.5 minutes to go, and I don't know that Malone would have done that. So, I don't know. But it's just something to monitor. Like, I just want to see – we're so close to the finish line, and there's so many things that have to happen that I feel like the Nuggets just need to kind of, like – calm, just chill here. Like, just there's work to be done before the intensity ratchets it up, and we'll see what happens. Is there anybody? Zeke Naji we should talk about tonight? He did, to my surprise, he got 20 minutes tonight. He was the guy who replaced Davon Reed, and he replaced him out of position. And he had some very good defensive plays. Like, he did not. Offensively, he was a zero. Like, literally had 0 points.
Well, he was playing out of position the whole night, which was tough.
Absolutely. 0 for 1, 1 rebound. But he had 4 steals tonight. He was a +6, which is a team high. And he just made some very good, like, he was a guy you could stick out there to not make defense. It's meaningful to me that Davon Reed was more in position, but missing up defensive assignments, and Zeke was out of position, but was making the right defensive plays.
I think what's more meaningful for me is the fact that he played 20 minutes in the game. So, like, he played more than all of the backup unit. And it just showed that even though he was on the shelf for so long, he's still part of that rotation. He's still a guy that they believe in, and he was playing so good before he got hurt that he's still being rewarded for that. Like, hey, get back into playing shape. You're going to be right back in the rotation where you're supposed to be. Just keep bringing that same energy. Still attack the board. Shoot the open shot if you have it. Like, Zeke Naji's not a player that he has to be at his, like, peak physical level, like, where, he's not – dunking on guys, or he's not using his speed for everything. He's a cerebral player. He's also a guy that just knows where to be at all times. So he's still going to do those type of things. This was not like a great game for him, but he still did the things that we wanted Zeke Naji to do, and that's grab every single rebound and give some minutes off of the bench. This time it was out of position, but that's still a guy you could go to at those times.
Yeah. At the end, it was a good game for him, but throughout it felt really weird because he was playing the 3 on the bench, and he's definitely not a 3. I mean, defensively, he can guard some threes, but you saw tonight, like, he's trying to run a dribble handoff with somebody and just can't really dribble. He just doesn't have the skill set to play small forward. So he was out of position on offense. And I mean, he only had 1 rebound in 20 minutes, but that's because he was on the perimeter for like the entire game tonight. And then we were watching this game coming down the fourth quarter, and Davon Reed obviously wasn't going to be the choice. And we were like, who is Malone going to choose? And you go down the list, and Denver was so shorthanded tonight. Usually that probably would have been Will Barton, but Zeke Naji was really the only choice. Right. It was Zeke or it was Bryn Forbes. You're not going to have him out there defensively at the end of the game. So Zeke was really like maybe the final choice that Malone could go to, but he held it together in the end. It wasn't always pretty during the game, but in the end, you come out of it and you say, okay, this was a successful Zeke night.
Yeah. Why don't we hit our final break? On the other side, we have a super chat. We have an important around the association to get to, and then Brendan Vogt will be joining us just momentarily. I know he's talking to Yoke now, so he should be wrapped up by the time this break ends.
We love these guys. Ivaka TV.
Oh, I love them.
We've had so many people jump on board with
I love
Ivaka TV. And if you sign up, tweet at us, let us know. We'll give you a shout out. We'll give you some love. But
definitely tweet at us, let us know.
Ivaka TV, they have Altitude Sports. They have a bunch of other national channels as well, available in Denver, Colorado Springs, Phoenix, Boise, Twin Falls, Idaho too. Go to ivaka.tv/DNVR. It's $25 per month plus a receiver, no contracts, no hidden fees. Your price is locked in for 2 years, so they can't jack up that price for you. $25 a month. You get Altitude, you get Nuggets games, Avs games, you get a bunch of other national channels as well. It's an awesome deal. It really is. Ivaka.tv/DNVR. Get set up with these guys today. Also at DraftKings Sportsbook this week. Let's see what we got, guys. Let's see what we got. Are you ready to feel the excitement of the conference championships like never before? Turn your team's victory into your own big win with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can bet $5 on any team to win. You're going to get $200 in free bets if they do. It's that simple. If they win, you win. If you're in Illinois, we have some bigger news for you. Mobile registration is back. Right now, you can sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook simply by downloading the app right now to your phone. So if you're in Illinois, check that out. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still join the action with DraftKings pools. Those are super fun as well. Everyone can play free all March long for a shot at over $250 in prizes as well. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. Bet $5 on any college hoops team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. If they win, you win with promo code DNVR this week at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
I think I might bet on CSU tomorrow.
Our guy, David Roddy?
My guy, David Roddy.
I know I went to see you. I'm supposed to hate CSU, but
man.
David Roddy is the real deal. I love that guy, man.
I love that guy, too. I can't wait. All right, back here, final segment. We do have some super chats to get to. What do we got? Trent says, Jokic is averaging 39, 15, 10, triple-double shooting, 69% the last 3 games. Only Wilt, Elgin Baylor, Oscar Robertson, and Jokic have averaged a 35-point triple-double over 3 games in NBA history. That's a murderer's row right there. Wilt, Elgin Baylor, Oscar Robertson, and Jokic. What's crazy is all 3 of those guys played in an era when everybody played 45 minutes and they played 30, 40 more possessions per game.
Yeah, I mean, one of those guys will just got whatever stat he was trying to that night. Oscar Robertson played when there were 200 possessions.
This is the dumbest thing. I wish we could transport Jokic back to 1962.
Yeah,
and do you think see him go up against Wilt? I just want to see a Jokic-Wilt battle. It'd be the greatest.
Jokic would have a 40-40-40 line, and everybody's like, what the hell? What happened?
What is this? This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
He'd just be standing at the nail, and people would just be cutting off of him like in those old videos.
I love it, man. These Jokic stats are hilarious. All these they just have every single game. There's a new one. It's pretty hilarious. All right, what else do we have? Super chat wise. We've got Gentleman's Munder. Go Nuggets. Oh, no. Was it a Gentleman's Munder?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a Gentleman's Munder.
Gentleman's Munder. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Nuggets, what happened to you? Come on, that first quarter. You were so
Also,
close.
the Nuggets also tonight had a chance to pass the 76ers in defensive rating and did not do it.
They didn't do it?
No.
Oh, that's a
Not
killer.
quite good enough.
Not quite good. Now they have the Warriors. They're definitely almost
they had
definitely-
their shot.
They're going to pass them against the Sixers.
Oh my God.
That's what's
Just
gonna happen.
end the season. Bring out the what's the MVP trophy named?
the
Kia,
Russell. Isn't it the Kia?
the Kia MVP.
The Clorox. The Clorox Bill Russell MVP.
Get the representative from Kia
gotta
to
get-
Philly. Have the trophy presentation after the game.
All right, what else we got? If a few more shots go down, Jokic gets his triple-double. Imagine the pressure. Taking shots knowing Jokic triple-double rests in the balance. Man, I'll bet you there's something to it. Honestly, some of these dudes probably are afraid to screw up. Like, oh, man.
They
Austin
probably don't
Rivers,
think about it. They
2 of
probably
8 tonight.
Just shoot it.
You think?
Austin Rivers thinks about it a little too much sometimes.
Hey, man, he hit the big one.
He did.
All right, we got one last one. Mark says, Jokic, McKinnon, now Wilson. Wow. MVPs abound. It's so true, man. People don't roll like, man, Russell Wilson. We haven't talked about that here. Russell Wilson, this city buzzing. DNVR buzzing. We got to go public.
Definitely
People
buzzing.
to buy stock.
Oh, man.
Telling you,
People
like
would
right
be-
now, it's just the flashing
Yeah.
lights here, man. Russell Wilson. Look, the Broncos, we all love the Broncos. We all love the Broncos here.
Yeah, we do.
And I'm just saying, they have been so boring to watch.
Hey, man.
They have been so boring.
I could get behind that.
And finally, we are not boring again. This city is about to have 3 very good teams plus a great party deck. I can't wait for it. Very, very excited. Should we go?
Maybe we should have a parade for all 3 teams in the same year.
So dumb.
We can get somebody to play a concert.
LeBron really said they should have a parade for a championship 2 seasons
Yeah, we
ago.
could get Nathaniel Ratcliffe out there.
Ratcliffe, come on, Ratcliffe. What are we doing here? You're making me mad.
Nathaniel Ratcliffe.
We got to get that guy on the show.
Liff.
If anybody knows Nathaniel Ratcliffe, tell him to come on the show. We
can
got to
play
reach
the
out.
concert.
I got to put Parker on there. I'll bet you Parker's a homie, man. Parker, you guys don't know our sales guy Parker. He's a beast.
Yeah, he's on my ass right now, but
Clippers 115-109. They beat the Wizards. The Wizards are struggling. They're 29-35. They've kind of fallen off a cliff.
did you see that rumor that Brad Beal wants to go to Philly? Do you see that?
What?
Yeah.
What?
I'm sick. Why'd you just ruin around the association? We were having a good time over
I don't
here.
know.
Man.
You
Why would
said
you want
the
to be
Wizards
around
and
Harden anyway?
that's-
That wouldn't even work. I want them to do that.
Man.
And eventually it will just be Bradley Beal left in Philly.
Everybody would trick them.
Embiid will go to like the Lakers. Harden will go to Miami.
How many
and
guys
it'll
they
just be
need? How many
Beal.
guys they need to beat Yoke? How many guys they need?
That's a
man?
great
That's crazy.
question.
The Jazz 123 over the Trailblazers 123-85. This is the most ridiculous game. Here's what happened to the Trailblazers tonight. They scored 15 points in the first quarter. They scored 20 points in the second and 15 in the third.
Oh,
They
that's
scored
pathetic.
36 points in the fourth quarter to raise their total to 85.
Hold on real fast.
What was the final?
Josh Hart was a minus 51.
A minus 51.
Oh my God.
But nobody else was close.
You think it was all him? He just said he was blowing.
Dude.
Damian Lillard's like, you want to put this guy around me
Yeah,
next year?
This is real?
Man.
I mean, all you have to know about the Blazers
In 26
is
minutes.
they're playing
Wow.
Keldon Blevins 21 minutes, who's only on the team because he's Damian Lillard's cousin.
Chauncey didn't
That's all
stand
you
a
have to
chance,
know.
man, this year. He did not stand a chance.
A minus
The Raptors
51.
beat the Spurs 119-104. That game's not that interesting. But here's the big one. The Knicks, the New York Knicks,
We love the Knicks.
they beat the Mavericks tonight 107-77 in Dallas.
Let's go.
In Dallas. I don't know what happened here. Luka had 31-6-4, but my God, that's a terrible performance for the Dallas Mavericks. The Nuggets now tie them in the standings. And more importantly, my buddy Kirk Henderson, a.k.a. the Iceman, had Mark Cuban on his show, and they immediately lose by 40.
That's awesome.
Are those
That
things
can't be a
connected?
coincidence.
Cannot be a coincidence.
All I've been hearing about is this vaunted Mavs defense, and they give up 107 to the Knicks.
Look, 107, not that bad in today's NBA. It's not great, but it's not that bad. But 77 points, what happened?
Oh, 107 to the Knicks?
Yeah.
You're
That's
back
bad.
on the Knicks. The Knicks are bad. They are very bad.
With the loss, though, doesn't that move the Nuggets into tying with them for
Dallas
the
has
fifth
the
seed?
tiebreaker.
They have the
right?
tiebreaker, and I'm telling you, Denver, I don't think Denver wants that. But they do. What they do want is
Control.
control, but also, like, you're sitting here looking at Minnesota, who just won't lose right now. They
Sure,
refuse to lose.
yeah.
And you think it gives you another team that maybe could be the 7th seed beside you. So maybe Minnesota does pass Dallas, but Denver stays in the playoffs. It gives you one more out there. So something to kind of monitor. None of these teams were losing. Like all Nuggets, Mavs, and the Wolves all were winning, the winningest teams in the NBA. So now the Mavs finally dropped. The Pelicans are sliding. They don't have Brandon Ingram. Sad. The Magic beat them. Brandon Ingram, somehow the Pelicans are terrible except for when Brandon Ingram's there, and then they're awesome. It's really he maybe isn't the MVP.
He's really good.
The Timberwolves won 132 to 102.
He might be in the conversation.
In the conversation, at least. Right?
Old friend Malik Beasley went for 33 points tonight, so he balled out in a win over the Thunder. I
just
guys,
seen that he broke the single season record for them.
yeah. Oh, man. So my buddy David Naylor posted this because we were talking about the Will Barton is the record for threes. He posted the leaderboard for three-pointers made for the Timberwolves. You should pull it up. You should Google the top three-point made for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay.
The funniest list you'll ever see in your life. The funniest list. You'll be like, what?
Is my guy Jake Layman on there?
He might be. He's like 4th or something. It's like this list is the
That is your
funniest.
guy.
It's the funniest list you could ever imagine.
He's still toiling
The
around in
Bucks
Minnesota.
124-115. They beat the Hawks. The Suns beat the Heat 111-90. Hey, impressive win there, Phoenix Suns on the road. You finally got
is an impressive win.
finally got a quality win without Chris Paul.
Ricky Rubio's 9th.
Ricky Rubio's not. Yeah, noted
Wow.
noted 3-point shooter Ricky Rubio. Who's the top? Give us the top
It's
three.
Cat, and then Andrew Wiggins is 2nd.
Andrew Wiggins too.
The
Who's
game
three?
has changed. Anthony Peeler,
Anthony
Wolves
Peeler.
legend.
Wow.
Kevin Love at 4 with
Okay.
440. Malik Beasley's 5th.
Hey man, Malik Beasley's going to be the
How long
leading.
is he
He's
been
going to
there?
get it.
The Nuggets are
next
going to
year.
have 2 leading in the division. That's
He's
insane.
also off the bench.
He's also off the bench. He's
And-
only been there for like 2 years.
He was in prison for part
he
of
was
it.
in prison for part. Yeah, he's had a cup of coffee there. The Bulls beat the Timberwolves or beat the Pistons. They were on a nice little slide there, so thank God. The first win in the CHGO Bulls era.
Wow.
I was starting to sweat. I was getting a
Good for
little
them.
worried here. And there was a come from behind win to beat the Pistons. Like that's scary. The Celtics continue to roll. They beat the Hornets 115-101. Jason Tatum
I'm looking at the right list, right? I didn't make this up.
44 points.
Yeah, this segment's less fun for me these
Dude,
days.
he's rolling right
He
now.
looks really good, and I will comp to that. But
He's
listen,
averaging like 40 in the last
He's putting up yoke numbers from the
He
scoring.
looks really good.
front.
I've
player.
already seen someone say they'd take him over Jokic to start their franchise. So,
Oh, I love it. Well, that.
But, or
You
would you
rest
take
assured
Brad
there, though.
Stevens, though? Would
Yeah.
you take Stevens?
yeah.
And then, guys, I saved the best for last. LeBron James, who rested last game, he returned to the lineup tonight. Why? Because it was an easy gimme. The Houston Rockets, guys, they're terrible. They're trying to lose. The Houston Rockets are trying to lose.
I mean, we just watched the Houston Rockets
We just
play
watched the
a game
Houston
of
Rockets.
basketball.
Not a real basketball team.
Did they win though?
Oh, my God. I'm looking at the score. I don't believe my eyes. They gave up 139 points and lost. The Lakers lose 130-139. The Lakers, I'm telling you, man, like I swear to God, I never thought, I almost feel bad for them. I almost feel bad. After the
know.
game, Jalen Green said,
Almost.
our game plan was to get Carmelo Anthony on an island and attack him one-on-one. Like,
Of course.
these rookies don't know better, man.
He's disrespectful.
That's so
That's
disrespectful.
trifling. He didn't even
Trifling.
have to say that.
He meant
really.
that he just meant it as a matter of fact.
But he didn't have to say it. Like, it wasn't like they asked him, like, hey, what was the game plan? Well, let's just attack him the entire time. He could have said mismatches and try to create
Yeah.
it, blah, blah, blah. He made sure that it was known. And also for
Number
the guy
7.
that scored 30 to be the one that answers that and talks about it, just horrible.
Dude.
LeBron was horrible in the game. He was a -17 in a close game. Nobody's going to talk about Westbrook having a pretty good game because they just want to
Wow,
attack
Dev
him.
taking up the mantle.
Westbrook
Caping
will
for his
probably
guy.
talk about
Oh
it.
no, no,
Yeah.
I'm not really caping. I'm
you're
just
right,
saying
though. You're
other
right.
people should also say why they suck.
There's one
right about
specific person in town. I'm not going to say it is. Not trying to start a fight here, but one person in town that every time Melo has like 12, 15 points in SportsCenter will tweet out him hitting a 3. He'll be like, "People told me he couldn't help Denver." And it's like, yes, that's correct. You can't help Denver.
I agree.
You should start saying these people's names, by the way.
I can't.
My personal belief.
You think we should start calling people out?
I think if we are calling people out, we should put their names on it and our name on it.
Nobody knows who I'm talking about.
All right, fair enough.
Nobody knows who I'm
Fair
saying.
enough.
There's a person, and he says.
Do you guys want the notes? I'm so jet lagged, dude. I'm 4 hours ahead. Can I give you some?
My final note on the Lakers. I saw somebody tweet. I can't believe these guys are on national TV this amount of times the rest of the season. Like, get these guys off national TV.
They got to flex them out. They got to Nobody cares anymore, man.
I will gladly watch the Los Angeles Lakers every single night of the week.
Oh,
Keep them on national TV. Flex them onto more national TV games. I will watch the Lakers train wreck every single night. I would love that.
I love it. At one point, I saw someone tweet, guys, at one point in the season, the Lakers were plus 1,400 to miss the playoffs. They might miss the playoffs.
Yo,
David Locke probably made that bet.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Michael Malone, joking about Monte Morris was the first question about how well he's playing. And he said, it's funny, we came over to shoot this morning. I checked in with Monte, said, how are you doing? And he said, man, I just got to make my shots. And he said, Monte, do you realize how well you're playing? He's been making shots, Malone said. Monte's efficiency has just been off the charts. And he talked about the game winner, how well he's played in clutch time. And then he said, fellas, we used to have Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. And obviously Monte is his own player. But him and Nikola have that same kind of impact, which is high praise. And listen, it's getting to that point, right? And as Malone pointed out, Morris in this situation can't just dump the ball to Jokic over and over again, right? He has to be willing to drive, has to be willing to pull up from mid-range, keep the defense honest. And defenses are more than honest now, guys. They're actually, you talked about this, right? They're trying to get more length on Monte. We'll talk about that more in a second. More from Malone, though. He said, I asked the guys, what's our record in our last 13? And no one knew we were 11-2. And he said, that's not a lack of focus. These guys are just out there hooping. And he says, these guys know what time it is. They're lasered in. That's a
God, I love that
I'll
one. No, we know what time it is. Let's go, baby. We know what time it is.
17 games left.
I told her what time it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Malone was in a really good mood, and he had a lot of praise just for the way that they've played over this stretch. Look, I'll say this. These aren't Malone's words. It hasn't always been pretty, but how many times can we say it? The name of the game is picking up wins. That's what they're doing, fellas. We also spoke with Monte Morris, who was asked about the clutch time growth, and he said, I think I've just been in a lot of situations like that. I'm growing. About the little run the Kings went on, he said, at the end of the day, it's the NBA. Guys do make runs. These are the best athletes in the world. That's not a big deal. It's about how you respond to them, and we responded tonight. On Jokic, he said, I think our chemistry is really good off the court. Our friendship has grown, and now it's translating on the court.
Love that.
I love that because I don't think that's something we would think of, right?
What do you think they would do off the court?
I want Monte and Jokic to be friends.
Yeah.
It's just for my own fan fiction over here.
And then another better quote on this.
Do you think Monte's ridden a horse before?
He's not going anywhere near a horse.
Why do you say that?
I don't know.
He's got to make the Gary Harris trip to Serbia, though, right?
He's got to. Come on. You've got to do it. Come with us, Monte.
Gary earned so many points.
You think Monte wants to come with us to Serbia?
Probably not with us, but
come on with us.
He might go.
He'll meet us
He probably stays in nicer
He's not going to
hotels.
take the same airline as us.
Definitely
I'll tell you
stays. Yeah, he's going to be in
Monte
first class.
also said, guys, on he and Jokic's chemistry, we talk on the court through our eyes. We got it down pat.
Can you do that? Do we have that chemistry?
I don't think so.
Try it. What do you think I'm thinking?
I don't
What do you think I'm saying? No, close in here.
Pick and roll.
I'm serious.
Pick and roll.
I'm serious.
I don't
DHO.
like this.
What do you think I'm?
I
what do you
don't
think
know.
I'm trying to say?
I don't feel comfortable. Oh, I actually think I do have
What
it.
is that?
Back door.
I don't know if I can say it on the air.
No. Wow.
Dribble handoff.
One more.
Run horns.
Light shade, promo code DNVR. Monte also had one more fan service quote for Adam. It's a fun thing when the ball is popping and we just laughing.
He didn't say that, did
on
he?
the court. I swear to God, he did.
You guys, can I conspiracy corner, Kale? Can we have conspiracy corner
Let's
here?
go. Let's
I don't
get
care if
into
you're
it.
tired.
Let's
I don't
get
care if you're
into
tired.
it.
I don't care if you're
Let's
tired.
go.
Yoke
Let's
was
go.
tired. You know what he did tonight? He gutted through it. Conspiracy
Broke
corner.
basketball?
I don't care if you're
What did we
tired.
talk about last show? What did we say we hadn't seen for a while? Actually, it's just me and you, Dev.
Yeah, it was just
we
you
said
two.
we hadn't seen a Sombor shuffle. What did we see tonight?
An attempt at a
An attempt at a Sombor shuffle. Now it missed. Okay.
He's shooting like 10% on
We
those
get
this year.
But
Monte,
that's progress.
We get Monte saying balls popping tonight. I'm telling you, The Nuggets with their post-game ritual. They all go home and watch the DNBA show. All of them. Jokic, Monte, Michael Malone.
I mean, we know at least one guy does. Shout out friend of the show.
Shout out best friend of the show.
By the way, another chapter in Monte Morris knows everyone. On playing against Davion Mitchell.
Love this chapter.
On playing against Davion Mitchell, he said, yeah, I mean, we talk a lot. He's a Big 12 guy. I always got love for Big 12 guys, especially smaller guards like myself.
Of course.
It's future bright.
Yeah.
How many guys?
Smaller guard, Big 12 conference, like, come on.
How many guys has Monte said, yeah, we talk a lot about?
Honestly, he talks to he's got
everyone in the league.
Just nonstop, making sure he's got touch points to every person he's ever met in his life.
When he's not playing, he's just networking. Just constantly
Monte's
networking.
never texted me.
He said Jokic is the MVP. That's a no-brainer. He was asked to talk to if he were to guard Jokic, what would he do? And he said, well, I can't leak that, but I do ask guys on other teams, because again, guys, he knows everyone. What do you guys say in the locker room when you're trying to figure out how to game plan for Jokic? And they always say, we don't really say nothing. We just try to double team him. And Monte said, that ain't working, man. And then if he's noticing a change on how teams are approaching him at this point while sharing the floor with Jokic in those crunch time moments, teams used to go under on Monte a lot. Can't really do that so much. He said, well, a lot of teams are trying to put more length on me. They're trying to stop both of us now. If they have to switch it, they want more length. And we noticed that tonight, and I think it's an interesting point. And look, Morris really has gone from just keep his head above water in this role to excelling in this role, right?
Monte's very online right now, FYI.
Nice.
Hell
Maybe
yeah.
we should drop him the
Hell
link.
yeah.
Hey, Bones.
Oh, man, Monte, come on the show.
Nikola Jokic, he played well tonight. He said he doesn't have any bad words to say about Monte Morris. He never asked to yell at him. He said, I love playing with him. He doesn't have an ego. He's going to do whatever to win the game. I respect that.
Oh, my God.
I don't think I can ever remember a bad Jokic body language moment with Monte.
You're right. There are guys.
You can remember them with almost everybody else, I'm
He
pretty
will do
sure.
that.
Not with Monte, though.
And then he was asked about the eyes thing, and I can't. There are no words to transcribe. Jokic just kind of made some weird faces and weird eyes for a little bit. He was on one. About how the team's playing lately, he said, we are playing good. I think the assist numbers have been really high. Maybe not today. We missed our threes, but we provided good ones, not bad ones. And you can't really be too mad about providing good looks. Sometimes it's not your day. I always love when people ask Jokic to take us through this. And tonight's example is take us through that move.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
The spin.
He's the worst description.
double
of it.
cross
Let me hear
as
it.
he
No one's-
spin.
Let me hear it.
Yeah, I didn't know. I think first I went left, or did I
Yep.
go right? No, I went left, or maybe it was right. It was a crossover. No, it wasn't a crossover.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know. I just spun 7 times. It just happened to be a good move.
It just happened to be.
It reminded me of that double behind the back he had against the Kings 2 years ago.
Oh, that's
Remember
a great
that one?
Oh,
I do.
yeah.
Coming right up the middle of the floor.
Yeah, swipe a fox, stop no swiping. Jokic was hilarious tonight, and he's just so out of his element when asked to talk about his bag or just take us through a play. And I always joke about that, but I wanted to take this actual note down. I think there is something enlightening in that, and it's Jokic. I think we always say he's like a computer, and it's true because he understands coverages and he's got that photographic memory, but it is so much like intuition and feel. Right. And when he's asked to describe these things, the best he has for us is, I don't know, it just happened. Yep. And there's just a savant, like in the moment thing that he's got. That's just so, I mean, I think a lot of the best guys have had that. And one in particular is Larry Bird, who he all reminds us of. Anyway, I digress. On him being aggressive tonight, was that his idea? Was that Malone's idea? Jokic says, I don't know. It just happened like that. Sometimes I score, sometimes I don't. It just happened, to be honest. I don't know the right answer for that. So that's another example of what I'm talking about.
His wisdom, yeah, for sure.
And there you go. The philosopher, Nikola Jokic, also the best player on the planet right now. And that was it, guys.
Love it. The ever articulate Nikola Jokic.
He's great.
He really is
great.
great. What was your favorite of the previous three games?
New Orleans. But my favorite is that we can say that. Like, he just didn't, And if guys hit their shots tonight, it's another ridiculous triple-double. And I'm sure Wind will probably do it if he hasn't already. But whatever the numbers are in the last 3 games alone, I mean, come on, man. How many guys have put 3 games together like
116 points, 45 rebounds, 31 assists.
My God.
39, 15, 10 would be the average.
And the field and the efficiency's through the roof.
60,
defensively
67,
too. Like in a lot of these games,
Yo,
there's been crunch time defense.
We didn't actually mention this, but he came up with 2 steals in the clutch that were like really big.
He came up with those 2 steals, and also I think it was in the third quarter. He had 2 defensive plays at the rim.
Yeah. Like a block.
One, I don't think he got credit for it though, but one was almost a block, and then he had another denial at the rim.
I mean, unironically, right, one of the best crunch time defenders in the league, and it's crazy, but we're not surprised. We've seen it so many times, and it's been it's part of why I love that New Orleans game so much, is he was so good on that end as well. And then finally, guys, I know it was really clumsy. I'll come to the defense of the bench a little bit. They did their job tonight. They finished in the positive. That run stunk, but like they grinded it out defensively, and their job is to be less bad than other bad benches. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished tonight. Indeed. Well, the squad slowly coming back together. Hopefully the Nuggets squad slowly coming back together as well. And we are on a little bit of a streak. Jokic on a heater. What will he do next? We're going to find out tomorrow.
That's the beauty of it.
As they
don't
take
know.
on the Golden State
Warriors.
We don't know.
He could literally do anything, man. That's the beauty of it.
At this very moment, I could believe anything.
Yeah.
Hopefully he plays, first of all. But we'll find out that tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget, hit the like button before you get out of here. Let's get those likes up so everybody can discover this great community, this great show. Join you guys in the chat and have a good time. And don't forget, March 26th, Party Bus. You only got 3 more days. 3 more days to sign up for this. You're not going to want to miss out on it. Come hang out with us. Good night, everybody.
Good night.